Do a barrel roll. This is Star Fox Assault on the Chronicle Brothers. I'm Will.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Daniel.
And yeah, this was the third sequel after, second sequel after the after Star Fox 64, which I think started the story for.
We're not counting Star Fox Adventures in here.
Oh no, sorry. This was the. Did I say? I think I said second sequel, right?
No, but I can't remember. Did Command come out after or before this?
Command came out after.
I don't even remember what Command is. Is that a game?
It was a DS game for.
Okay.
And
do people like it? Do people like that game?
It was actually I think it was well done enough. Like, I actually got pretty addicted to it for the longest time. The worst part, not the worst part, but the thing about the game, it's stupid depressing. Like, there are, for a long time, I think the developers of Star Fox thought that the Command was going to be the last game. So what they did was that they created like multiple pathways, so you could have like, multiple endings.
They had like what, 12 different endings?
Yeah, 12 different endings, and God, I think 11 of them were the most depressing things you would ever read in your life.
I mean, does everyone just die? Is that what happens?
There are some when, like straight up, like these characters just end up hating each other's guts and go their separate ways, and that's the end of the story. I'm like, holy crap! Like,
yeah, like it basically is. If you wanted a happy ending in Star Fox, you're not getting it in that game. And I mean, the controls were. Like, the game itself was okay, but it was really, like, it just wasn't, it was really bare and not real well organized as any of the other Star Fox games.
Can I just interject for a sec, just because of what's going on the screen? I'm curious about what these different control settings are.
Well, in short, they are all horrible in their own way. I have chosen the least of three evils. Actually, in my original file, back when I played as a kid, I noticed that I had the control scheme to have the A button on the GameCube controller as fire, but now I switched it to R. And I think it's because of all the first-person shooters I've played since then. But yeah, it really tripped me out when I started this game up again for the channel.
Can I just say I love all the sci-fi ships and battling in space right now?
Yeah, these designs are really nice. They are. Ship designs and stuff. They're very anime, and it's cool.
Oh, it's awesome.
Well, I wouldn't say they're
very Gundam-y.
Well, actually, no, I wouldn't say that they're Gundam-y. I don't know. There's an aesthetic that they remind me of. I just, on the tip of my tongue, and I can't exactly say what it is right now. I can't remember. But, oh yeah, something's happening right now.
Yeah, this game has aged, I think, fairly well in terms of graphics.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a while, though.
This is a GameCube game, right?
This is a GameCube game, yeah.
Cool.
Actually, what year was it? It's I want to say 2000. Was it 2004? No. Star Fox Assault. I'm gonna rock a wiki here. Alright. Star Fox Assault was
yeah, but this is
2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember buying it when it came out, but yeah, this is basically starts out like any regular old Star Fox game, and this is probably where the game sets a really good impression.
Yeah, and then
oh my God, like General Pepper.
Oh, this game suffers from horrible audio crunch. Like the compression is just so high. It doesn't sound like it's on a TV, but like anytime I've seen like a recording or a Let's Play, you just hear that crunch in the audio, and
yeah, oh my God, General Pepper, what happened to you?
Yeah, he looks rough.
Hey, the guy's seen some shit in the past couple years. I want a spin-off. Yeah, his eyes just look dead. Like, oh my God.
Do you think in the Star Fox universe, everyone has a uniform lifespan regardless of what animal they are? Or do you think it matches up to what kind of animal they are?
Not a clue.
No, hold on. These are the real questions.
Yeah, I'm asking the difficult questions here.
It's a good question considering like we barely we see characters age, but at the same time like none of the important characters really die except for like before the story.
Yeah. I mean, it's better to not really worry about it, obviously, but just as a hypothetical question.
I can just imagine, like, as they're running down that long hallway, Slippy just, like, dies. And they're like, what happened? Oh, he reached the end of his lifespan. Oh, okay, better move on.
Yeah. He lived a long, full 3 years.
Yeah,
I don't know what the actual lifespan for Toad is. He's a toad, right? Not a frog? Is he a frog or a toad?
Slippy the Toad, I believe.
Okay.
Or is it Slippy the Frog?
Yeah, his name is Slippy Toad.
Slippy Toad.
Slippy
yeah.
Toad?
Who happens to be a frog now. That'd be
That'd be weird.
yeah, that'd be odd.
Oh, man.
Oh, it explained a lot, though. I mean, sure, he'd be dealing with, like, one hell of an identity crisis.
I love the redesigns of the X-Wing. Sorry, not the X-Wings, the R-Wings.
Yeah, they're cool.
Star Wars, though, very topical, very topical.
Yeah,
It's true.
I just saw it actually. I actually want to record Rogue Squadron 2 when I get the chance.
Ooh, that's a good game.
There you go. That's it. That's it.
I'm probably gonna do that when I get the chance soon.
I have a copy
Of course,
that.
Slippy, you get in trouble like at the beginning of the game.
Oh, we're not even like 10 seconds in. Yeah. The guy's already on his last legs.
I have a copy of that one's Rogue Leader, right? Is Rogue Squadron 2?
I can't remember. I have it.
It's the GameCube,
in my closet.
right? The first GameCube one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a copy of that game. That is a hard game.
It's
is.
deceptively difficult at
It
parts.
is.
Yeah.
Like I think the thing is though, if I record it, it'll be interesting because I've never actually technically finished the game before. Because like when I was a kid, I could not get through some of those levels. I did not understand how like the win conditions of some of those levels work. And like I ended up like looking up cheat codes, just unlocking all levels and just playing the ones I liked.
You and me both. Yeah, that was a
Yeah, I mean, because
difficult
that's a game that like really favors performance. Like you really have to play the levels. You can't just beat them. Like you pretty
look,
much have
we're
to
in
play
Gundam
them
now.
perfectly.
Oh yeah, there's a Gundam wing in here.
I told you.
It's a Gundam.
It's like Gundam. This is an interesting change for a first level in a Star Fox game because usually the first level in a Star Fox game is like it's
area.
like more on the ground, like it's on a planet. It's very rarely starts in
Get there.
space.
What's
get
cool
that.
about this is that we're actually see that planet in the background. We're actually going to be going there like in this level.
Cool.
So it's a pretty neat game. My biggest gripe with this game is that it just once you reach about like 3/4 of the way through this game, they throw a lot of ground levels at you, like where you're playing on the ground, and it's just
you're in a
so
tank?
like you're in a landmaster or you're on foot, and those levels are just not. It's like. Sorry, I was gonna say it suffers from Kid Icarus Uprising Syndrome, but I think it should be Star Fox Assault Syndrome. That
What do you mean,
got.
Kid Icarus Uprising Syndrome?
Have you played the 3DS Kid
Yeah,
Icarus
I
game?
love that game.
It was a great game, but the controls for the flight levels are perfect. But then the second you hit the ground, oh my god, it's impossible to control Pit like
Really?
competently.
You thought so?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what most of the world thinks. So did you
lot of
actually
people
find
have
it?
Most of the
control
world really
problems
thinks
with that
that, like,
game.
Yeah.
well, most of the world thinks that the controls break your hand, and I will admit, like I felt that way at the beginning. Like within a few hours, I was used to it. I was like, I am fine with this.
Really? Jeez,
Yeah.
It took me like at least half the game to finally like really get into the controls. Like, I mean, but even when you get with it, it's not really like being able to understand the control scheme. It's just like putting up with the control scheme.
Really?
That's what I
I
found.
grew to like it.
Huh. Now, did you use like the Gamepad Pro thing? Like, did you have like the second
No.
analogs? Really? You just used it? I'm impressed.
I just got used to it. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe it's just a case of getting good, but I just didn't mind it at all.
Well, looks like we know who's doing that for the channel.
I wish if that was even possible, because like
Yeah.
recording 3DS games is hard. Otherwise, I'd be recording a whole bunch of them.
I think there's just like one guy who like does it, doesn't it? Like customizes it online and like
Yeah,
you send it in.
you send in your 3DS, and he just sort of makes it so you can record it. But I mean, like, it costs that costs a lot, and it's not worth it for me.
It's not. No, I can't imagine it's worth it for a lot of people. It's a real shame, but like like for the PS Vita, there's ways around it. You could like get a PS TV, which is only like $40 and record from there. But the 3DS, there's really no competent way to record it.
I mean,
unless you
the
set it into
Vita
that
actually
guy.
had a lot of problems when, like, it's only recently that you've been able to capture Vita games. Like, even major websites like Giant Bomb, which is the site that I follow, they couldn't record Vita games until a couple years back because it was just like there was no support for it. Like, usually you get a kit from the developer if you're like a website covering that sort of stuff. and there was none of that for Vita. Like, they didn't put any of those out, so it was like you could not capture Vita games for a very long time.
Can we just consider the fact that, like, you know, Falco is like supposed to be our best pilot, and you have to save him a lot of the time?
Can we consider the fact that they never save our asses at any point in the game?
Yeah,
like Fox is the best pilot, right? Because he's the leader.
Well, yeah, but it canonically, Falco's the better pilot.
Is there a dense Star Fox canon that I'm not aware of?
There actually is.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Like, for what? Because there hasn't been that many games. There's been, like, maybe, I mean, including Star Fox Adventures, there's been, what, like 4 or 5 Star Fox games?
I'd say there's a storyline, but I wouldn't call it, like, a dense lore.
It's dense-ish. I think it's, like, consider in the middle of, like, say, Legends of Zelda and Metroid dense, because, like, somewhat in between there.
That's funny, because I don't consider either of those games dense. Legends of Zelda only as if you're, like, become crazy about it. If you're one of those people who's gonna get really into, like, oh, but this happens, whatever. Listen, I've talked about canon and Legend of Zelda before in our Metroid Other M playthrough, but I mean, if I think about a game with dense lore, I mean, I would think about, like, Mass Effect.
Well, I mean, there's dense and then there's dense.
Those games actually are dense.
So this is, like, dense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's a Nintendo game. What do you, like...
Right.
I think like we said in the other M one, like Metroid has like the most dense story of any Nintendo franchise. If you,
including like Fire Emblem, I've never played, but
Fire
Emblem story is dense, but it's pretty self-contained.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, you could play a Fire Emblem game and not play any of the other ones. Like, the only ones I think you can probably make an exception for is, like, Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, and I've only played Path of Radiance. So
yeah, one of those is, like, a direct sequel to the other one.
Yeah, and I think that's the only game where they actually share something in common.
I would argue that any Nintendo game you can play without playing the other ones, and you'll be pretty much okay.
I don't know. I can't play Splatoon without understanding the storyline of Mario Sunshine. I mean, like, clearly that is the bad ending of Mario Sunshine. The world of Splatoon.
It's funny because if you actually pay attention to the backstory of Splatoon, it's kind of messed up.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like literally, like if like the backstory of Splatoon, if you kind of look into it, is like the world ended. There was an apocalypse of some sort, all the humans died, and now there are squid people.
This is really crazy that this guy just made a robot of his own likeness.
Actually, this is a really nice homage to Star Fox 64's final.
Yeah, this is a real, like, this looks like Andros, right?
And Andrew Oikeni is Andros' nephew, which is weird because Andros is a brain, I believe.
Only he had the brains.
This is cool. I'm enjoying watching this. This game seems pretty cool.
This game is cool.
Is there still... I noticed that you're mostly shooting. Is there still, like, the lock-on mechanisms that are in the other Star Fox games?
Yeah, if you there is a lock-on mechanism here. There's, you have bombs, you have barrel rolls, you can slow down, you can do, the loop-de-loops and all that. You get to save Slippy like 4 times in any given level. It's exactly Star Fox.
This is a really cool game. I mean, it has its flaws. But I mean, as it is, it's just still a pretty cool game. And now watch this.
It just stays so loyal to, the Star Fox, universe.
This guy seems like a real piece of garbage.
He's a bit of a prick.
Listen to that voice.
Yeah, well, you were saying.
Look at that character development. Actually, to what Jordan was saying earlier about, lore and all that, I'd say it's one thing that Star Fox really excels at is its character development, because it's a space shooter, but they get characters so right. And as you go on from Star Fox 64 to Adventures to Assault and ending with Command, it's like you see a lot of growth in these guys, and
do you actually?
You actually, like for instance, General Peppy. He started off as a co-pilot on Fox's dad's team, and then now he's working with Fox, and then it becomes he just, and I think
he
becomes General
in this game, right?
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
So I don't know if that counts. He's still the same character. Like, he's not really.
No, because eventually he also replaces General Pepper.
So that's just like a change in position, right? Like the character is the same. It's not like there's like the trials of Peppy, you know?
Well, no, because Peppy actually gets older, and that's why he sort of becomes the new commander.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's just a change in age. It's not really a change in character.
Development.
You'd be surprised, because like a lot of stuff does happen where these characters do develop in Star Fox canon.
At the same time, I see where Dan's coming from. Like, it's not like these characters like change from like good to evil throughout, but
unless you play Star Fox Command.
Listen, the talking heads are great. Like that's what gives the game a lot of its character, right? But they're pretty basic characters at their heart, and that's kind of what makes them work, right? Is that like you got the hot shot, you've got the. I mean, I guess Slippy is supposed to sort of be like the smart guy, but he kind of isn't. You've got sort of like the old master, and then you've got the one guy tying them all together. It's like that. That's like a good thing. I'm not knocking it for not having character development. I guess I'm just saying that like I'm not coming to Nintendo games for character development, and also that the only Nintendo characters that are worth following are either Wario or any character from Animal Crossing.
I don't know. I really want to know Tom Nook's backstory.
Yeah, Tom Nook rules. Tom Nook's backstory is actually that he gives all of his money to charities.
Wait, who is?
Tom Nook.
Tom. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one who you owe your life to.
Yeah, but he actually takes all that money and gives 90% of it to charities.
Is this canon?
This is canon. I think this is from Happy Home Designer. There were a lot of screenshots going around. It could be fake. I don't know. I haven't played Happy Home Designer, but
wow, I love how they actually like address that though. That in itself is incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Man, those games are the best in terms of.
Sorry, go on.
In terms of just Nintendo writing, like in terms of the writing in Nintendo games, you cannot beat Animal Crossing games. They are so good. The Fire Emblem is also very good.
I wonder if there's an Animal Crossing planet in the Star Fox universe. It would fit.
I don't think Animal Crossing takes place on its own planet. I think it takes place in a different game.
Oh, this is why homes cost so much. The Fox team just keeps on wrecking them whenever they go down to the planet.
Yeah, rough out there.